Hello, how's it going? New week. Tomorrow, well, I'm streaming a little bit earlier maybe because tomorrow I wake up early again at like 3:30 a.m. So either I'm going to bed at like 7 or at like 9 and sleeping 6 hours. I don't know, we'll see. I'm aiming for 7:30 or something like this, or at 8. So we'll see if I achieve it. And at least I have already confirmation of where to meet and such. So on that side, I'm more or less calmed. But yeah. I'm trying to zoom in on chat. Doesn't zoom in. Okay. Then I'll just go over the classics, what happened this week, and for that I'm going to open up Google Photos as usual. And Monday. This week we had the Technik Klausur at the beginning of the week, so we went to Siemenswerk, Obersendling. They have like this office complex there, and it was kind of boring. Oh, I went to the dentist also. But yeah, essentially it was kind of boring because we didn't do anything. We didn't do anything with the teacher. Our teacher was like krank, was like sick. So we just went there, worked on our own with some like activities, or some random teacher who was there but who wasn't with us all the time, who just popped in every once in a while. We just did that, and yeah. Then we went home a little bit earlier. I went to the dentist as well afterwards, and then I went shopping or something like that. Then on Tuesday we had already back in this building, and this time the teacher was actually there. So we went there to this place called Obersendling August Zahne Weg or something like that. This M Park place, these rented offices, and it was the preparation for the test. So we basically did the test that we were going to do the next day, almost practically that day, and then I went to the gym. And on Tuesday I lost my fucking wallet. Which was insane, and I had also lost it the day before. I don't have any pictures of this, by the way, but it did happen. Then on Wednesday I recuperated it, but on Tuesday I lost it and I went crazy. So I went all the way to Leimaplatz and then back, and then went a couple of times down to the station to call this Notruf place. I did a lot of forms, blah blah blah. So it was a pretty stressful day. Then on Wednesday I went to this weird place called MVG Fundbüro, and after the test. So yeah. Then on Thursday we went to Ostbahnhof and did some stuff like it was, what did we do on Thursday? we went to Ostbahnhof. Yeah, and we had like a kind of like a little bit of a talk with this kind of S-Bahn woman, like the, I don't know, some kind of, not sure if boss, but someone kind of high up there. And yeah, she told us how the thing goes, like how, like what numbers matter for them. And we went to visit the Leitstelle, and some guy in the Leitstelle told us a little bit of the things that matter to them. So essentially, basically, what they kind of expect or what they want to communicate or whatever in that context. And I ate Nepali food that day. Then Friday, which was not yesterday but a couple of days ago, we went to again to Ostbahnhof. We were with a Notfall managerin, but she just explained us things about how to read Schichtblätter und so like the plans of our shift, and not much else. So we, after like 11:30, we were already done with it, and I went home. I cooked at home and so on. I went to the gym. I did laundry. Then yesterday, Saturday, I stayed all day home. I cooked food. I watched some YouTube, and I went to buy a couple of things to Rewe, I think, and that's essentially it. I didn't do a lot. I went down to the second floor in my building to write on my journal first thing in the morning to kind of plan the day out. Didn't actually end up doing that much related to that, to be honest, but like I wrote some goals that I had, which were like stream talking about a topic, which I did do, but at the very end of the day. So I think most of the day was just spent kind of playing YouTube or like cooking. Nothing particularly crazy, by the way. Just I did cook two things for today and for yesterday and today, but yeah, nothing insane, to be honest. And yeah, that's basically how my week was. I didn't do too much else. And yeah, today I went to the gym to ride the bicycle. And then I just watched a little bit of YouTube, ate food, cooked food. Well, not cooked, I just reheated the food that I had. Wrote some messages to the guy. Yesterday I also called my mom, I called my friends, called one friend, I received a call from one friend, and then joined a Discord call with another couple of friends. So that was my afternoon, basically. My afternoon was kind of spent talking, you could say. And then I did a little bit in the night time of stuff related to these kind of like goals or whatever. And today during the gym I was listening to something that I guess could be called attached to these goals, which is listening to a podcast in German about trains. But I don't know how to evaluate progress on that end. I'm listening to this podcast, but yeah, I'm not sure how much it's helping. I'm not sure how much confidence it gives me. We'll see. And yeah, I don't know. That's basically it for the week. Tomorrow, I was thinking of what we have to do. We have to wake up at 3:15, 3:45, I guess, 15 minutes earlier from when I have to go down to catch the train at like 4:07 or 4:08, and then we will get there at like 4:20 something. We can't do any later train because that's the first train of the day. Plus, there's no more trains like for like 30 minutes. So the next train will already be late to when we've said we would hang out. And yeah, I don't know. I was kind of thinking, trains, waking up early, go to the, should I study something to prepare myself for tomorrow? How do I even prepare myself for a shift? And these kind of things. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe like look up the plan more carefully and like try to know very exactly what we're going to do. I was also thinking, since we are going to be arriving early at like 4:30 or so at this place, we have like, not sure if 10 minutes or something like this, but we have at least some time to print the thing. So I would like to get it printed, but yeah, I don't know. I was thinking also of printing things myself. I could go today to Ostbahnhof. I wanted to have something else printed, but I forgot what. Ja, my Meldebestätigung or something like this, like Wohngeberbestätigung. So that could be useful, but yeah, I don't know. I'm going to check if Ostbahnhof has these print things. Okay, it does seem like it does offer it. It opens today and it closes at 11, so that's interesting. So maybe today I go there, I don't know, but since today I'm also going there after the shift, maybe I just wait until tomorrow and print it there, to be honest, because it's not... okay, if I want the shift, right, then I would want it today, I guess. But if I just want to print the Meldebestätigung or this kind of Wohngeberbestätigung, then... So yeah, on that end, I don't really know. And yeah, I don't know. I was going to record, I think, a quick little video saying something about my wallet and how it was found by email or something like this. And Yeah, I don't know how useful, I guess, my videos aren't useful, but it's something I could make a video about. So might as well, right? But I don't know. But I don't know. Maybe I could try to record it. I think I should. I'm not sure if I should script it or if I could make it off the cuff. I guess I'm kind of dissatisfied with YouTube. Maybe I could record today a status update. Let's do that. Let's at least watch the past one. 4:30. Yeah, why not? Done at 5, and then I start cooking dinner at 5. I guess I could start with the fucking video I had planned. Beep, beep, beep. Okay, now I can record my video. I guess I was kind of waiting subconsciously, I think, till the dishwasher ends, because so before this I could open up a blank document. Not sure if I should have anything scripted or if I could just do it off the cuff. I think I can try to do an off the cuff video that's kind of like fun on and like energetic, a little bit more energetic than usual or something. I don't know. Maybe not super like crazy energetic or something, but I don't know, a little bit more upbeat, or not sure if upbeat or whatever. But like, I guess projecting a little bit more on the voice or something. I think most of my videos are kind of like quiet, and this one could be a little bit like trying something new or something like this. I don't know. Let's try out. What even is the concept of the video? I lost my wallet twice, what I learned, or something like this, right? What did I learn losing my wallet twice? Or simply, I lost my wallet twice. I lost my wallet twice this past week, more or less, and I guess I wanted to reflect on it. And I have some conclusions. I guess the first conclusion is that I should stop putting my wallet inside of my coat pocket because it falls out too quickly, and I should always zip up wherever my wallet is. And I've been doing that since I've been moving. Moving, like literally moving around the city. I've done that. So yeah, that thing closed. Then the next thing is that actually, I think I've had luck because I've recuperated it twice. So that's positive, and I think it reflects well, I guess, on the people, right? The people did contact me after finding the wallet, and I could recuperate it, and they both like arranged for me to find it or whatever. So that was great. And I think another thing was that my maybe I should make the video different. Maybe I should make a video something like, you should have a website, but this is like, but these are the reasons you don't expect, or something like this. I think this is... You should have a website, but not for the reason you're thinking of. Okay, this is just an anecdote. Actually, it's more or less a clickbait title, and it's not an actual recommendation, but I wanted to talk through this anecdote using this as a theme. And it's essentially that I've lost my wallet twice this weekend, or this week, not this particular week. Okay. You should have a website, and not for the reason you think. Okay, so this is actually not a video about websites. I simply lost my wallet twice this past more or less week or so. One was the past week, one was this week, but it was like within 7 days of each other, so you could say it's within 1 week. And yeah, essentially both of the times I got contacted through someone looking up my name, finding it on LinkedIn, but then not messaging me on LinkedIn, rather going through my website, clicking on my information, details or whatever, and finding my email there. So for both times I lost my wallet, people actually contacted me the same way, which was through my website, which is actually kind of like interesting, right? And I guess it made me think a little bit, right? Because how come my website has not given me a job or whatever, or has not worked as a personal portfolio piece or anything like this, but it has worked as me retrieving my wallet twice. I think it helps that the website is like pretty simple. It doesn't have like a lot of flair. It just has like 2 or 3 things: how to contact me, and 2 or 3 other things, right? I think that lacklusterness makes it not great as a portfolio piece or anything like this, because there's nothing technically impressive. Plus, there are not a lot of projects to show my what were developer skills or something. But at least it does show me that it's easy to contact me in case my wallet falls down, and that it's SEO'd well enough on my name, besides LinkedIn, that it works as as kind of like, who am I on the internet? So I guess it makes me think, maybe I should actually change my website, right? I have another website tied to this Coscorro Drift name. That one was tied to my real name, right? So I guess I have some thinking to that about websites, and maybe this should make you think about your website in particular, and like how, when you lose your wallet, what will people find about you? Okay, I'm going to upload the video now. 2026 02 15 16 402. Upload. Should I draw a website or something like this? You should have a website and not for the reason you think. I'm trying to have my website here as to do something like this, but it doesn't load. I'm trying to get it to load just the classic captive Wi-Fi thing, but I think it can only do it on Safari, maybe. I don't know. It's a little bit weird, to be honest, but think I would have finished earlier using my work tablet, to be honest. By the way, my work tablet is pretty cool. Like, this is how it looks without the case, because it has usually have a case, but maybe something funny like hopefully some of these will be worth it. Okay, posting it. Boom. Okay, and now I think we can go to my channel. I can watch the video, the last status update I've made. Status update September 2025. Whoa, whoa, whoa. I don't know what the losses are here. HMJA. I guess I could share. Status update September 2025. This status update is going to be a little bit different from the other ones because I guess the other ones were a little bit more following each other, and this one I just followed the New Year's resolutions from the past one because it was the previous status update was there's been actually a lot of since February, what has been going on. In February, I mentioned that I was in the course to become a train driver, like in the German course, so I was like locked into that path, and I had become like already my health tests back and some months May. So basically, it's been class in German and doing some activities like this. How's the vibe in the German in the class? It started quite advanced, you could say, train related topics and like train service topics, right? Bahnbetrieb. And yeah, that's like how class has been. It has evolved this way. It started with like the basic concepts. Okay, losses are the people who left the class. I think. Age, I don't know who. Now we are doing like I guess irregularities, situations like that are irregular, these kind of things. Still with theory, with some kind of practice days in between, with some simulator days, with some days that we go into the cabin and drive actually. Yeah. Okay, the H was the M, okay, the J, okay, the O, okay, and then another one, okay. It's missing the person, I guess, who I was closest with, and so on. Okay. So yeah, let's do something like this. Let's hit it and do it quickly. 4:30, I think in half an hour we can have it ready. Wait, should I write down the answers here? Maybe a couple of pointers, not to make it super long. status update, February 2026. The last status update, official, was on September 2025, so still like 5-6 months ago. And in that one I said that I was going to follow a different type of organization, and I think I'm following the past one. So this one from September, of saying some general updates first, then going over my New Year's resolutions, even though maybe it doesn't make sense because I made the video of the New Year's resolutions just last week, but I don't know, to kind of at least orient my headspace there. And then answering the classic questions from this girl, I forgot her name, Ta. I think it started with a Z. Anyways, if you go back to the beginning of these status updates, you can see the name of the girl who gave me the inspiration to answer these questions in my status updates. So, general part of the status update February 2026, like more or less currently what the vibes are, how am I currently, what are the things on top of mind, you could say. And I guess my routines are basically still in the course to become a train driver. Since the last update, well, we've finished since then all the theory. We went through the technical modules, we had vacation, Christmas in Spain, we started the vehicle modules, and now we've finished with the vehicle modules and we're doing like either standalone stuff, and we're going to be driving the trains ourselves, well, with a trainer, quite often, basically, not sure if every day, but really continuously until March or so, until middle March. Then we start a little bit again with some other modules of theory, security systems and so on, and then more driving until just the preparation for the exams. So a lot of driving is incoming, but for the moment I'm still in the transition period. We've already had one day of driving, tomorrow we have another, but so far we've just had kind of like transition modules and like a couple of exams and so on. So that's essentially where I'm at in this kind of train Zusatzbescheinigung journey. Some, I guess, more personal things or like course related things. One guy I mentioned in the previous status update that we'd had some losses, aka people who were in the course but who left or were kicked out, and now there was another loss extra that happened, I think, in October, so right after that status update. And he was the person who I was, I guess, closest with, who I talked the most with, and who I went on walks through Munich, and also the person I was in the cabin with. So I lost, well, no, I didn't lost them to death or something, right? But I lost them here in Munich. So, well, lost him here in Munich. So in that sense, like, how has the change been? To be honest, not mega different or anything like this. Since we've had classes and only like a couple of days like that, I guess the weekends have become a little bit, on the one hand, more organizable by me, so I'm able to be more on my own or so on. And to be honest, I don't get hit by mega loneliness things, but because before it's like when someone calls you to do something, you kind of react in like a positive way, or like, oh, nice that someone's hitting me up. And also like, oh, I had something planned already, I had my daily structure and I have to move things around, right? So now nothing moves my things around usually. There's no people making plans with me or anything like this. So in that sense, it sounds maybe a little bit lonely, but I don't know, to be honest, it hasn't hit me yet, as in I don't really miss it. I think in the questions that I'll answer, I'll go a bit over why, but I don't know. In that sense, that happened, and that is how the vibes are. So I guess now the things are like more lonely and more, I guess, in my head, or more tied to the internet back as it used to be, you could say. And that doesn't sound super good, but to be honest, it's how it is, right? Then we can go on to my New Year's resolutions. And I guess maybe something to note is that in my New Year's resolutions, there is no aspect about, for example, if you look at these categories, there is no social category, right? So, I don't know, it's kind of interesting that even though I would define my life as a little bit lonely, and I certainly feel loneliness a lot of the time, I guess it hasn't passed through my head to like, well, it has passed through my head, but it hasn't like, I don't know, evolved. I haven't kind of like made the decision or like taken this kind of, oh, I really need to put myself out there in some way or something like that. I don't know, it hasn't, like, I hadn't reached that point of feeling like that. I guess the social situation that I encounter on the day-to-day plus whatever are kind of enough on like even way too much for me at the moment. So I'm just focusing mostly on like these kind of like things. So I don't know. We'll see how I evolve in that sense throughout the year or whatever. But yeah, essentially that's how it's been. And yeah, my New Year's resolutions this year have changed. I've made already a video about this. But yeah, essentially these are the new categories. Instead of like, for example, the writing, instead of being like harsher, it's now easier. Exploring is kind of like optional. Money and entrepreneurship are optional, right? And there are like more explicitly defined appearance, German, etc. categories, right? So physical, I would say that I have been hitting my New Year resolutions. Like this is like as in progress, right? Throughout the year, how am I progressing in these categories? And for even like the beginning of the year, I didn't have the resolutions yet. I wanted to hit cardio, and at the beginning of the year I didn't. In Spain I didn't, but now since officially setting it on the video, I have actually hit the cardio at least this week. So I hope I can keep that going. Then studying, I wouldn't say that I have hit the couple of super serious study blocks that I wanted to hit, but on the test that I've had, it was enough. I know that that is not an excuse for the resolution to not nail the resolution, but at least I did it. German, I have listened to a podcast to train my audio a little bit, which is something that I'd never, I guess, done in the past. I haven't finished the podcast either, but I've listened more than my quota that I had marked. But also, it was like a regular speed while doing other things. It wasn't like a focused thing, so I don't know, I'm not super fully satisfied. Also because I don't know how to measure my progress or how to measure in general, not my progress, but my inputs, right? I don't know exactly what inputs to measure and how to measure them, what inputs exactly should I be measuring, right? For example, listening to podcasts, but how do I listen? How do I measure that I've done it correctly? Can I just do casual? Should I do review? Should I change my method entirely? And to make it feel really good, I have to like hire someone, right? If I hire a teacher for 1 hour and try to do something with them for this hour, spend $15 or whatever, put money on the line, maybe that makes me go like, oh, I've done some progress, right? I've put my money on the line, I've put a building block here, and then if I come prepared to the class. I don't know. Maybe there are like different ways I can approach this. Appearance, I haven't arranged any laser things yet, which I would say is the main maintenance thing, because I don't know, seeing my face with beard all the time is so annoying. So yeah, I hope I deal with this, and it should have been already like last week, but I haven't done it still, so I don't know. It's just that my schedule is getting a little bit weird, but I think I have to make peace with my schedule being weird, right? So yeah, I don't know. I'll have to figure it out. Then writing documentation, by doing this, I guess I'm good, because the bar is so low that by doing a couple of status updates a year or like 2 or 3, it's kind of already it's kind of like enough, right? I've written a couple of journal entries, I have no numbers. So in that sense, I'm leaving kind of my mark, going on, not letting it drift too much, and kind of like setting like some breadcrumbs, you could say, right? Like a breadcrumb a month was something that I wanted to do. And with this one, I'm kind of hitting it. Exploring, I've gone to a Nepalese restaurant yesterday or last Thursday, I think. So in that sense, I've hit that. I've kind of hit that novelty spot for the week, and in general for a month, or I don't know how it's measured, but I've at least been hitting some new things. Money, entrepreneurship, for the moment, nothing. These two were optional categories, so I guess any progress is good. And for the money, I've only thought of ideas, but I haven't sat down to develop anything. So, in my opinion, that doesn't count. Because I haven't also sat to think particularly about developing this thing, right? I've only just asked ChatGPT for ideas and so on, but haven't actually sat down even with AI or whatever, or even to write something concreter. Then we're going, I think, to the questions, right? So, questions. How do you feel about your money situation right now? And I would say that I already have my contract for 2026 locked in, right? So that means my housing contract, I mean. I'm moving houses, and that was my main worry, my main source of insecurity in terms of income, right? What happens if I don't find a flat? And now, for 2026 and beginning 2027, I have already a place to live. So in that sense, I'm calm. I'm not fully settled because it's only until 2027, and after that, I will have to find something. But this kind of at least gives me time to look for stuff, time to get a feel on the housing market, I guess, and also time to save a little bit more in case I need a little bit of a buffer, right? So yeah, I'm not fully settled, but in the short term at least, I'm not worried. And I didn't even make financial New Year resolutions. Maybe I should make something a bigger emergency bank in case I do need to rent something that's expensive short term or something like that. But yeah, my money situation is I don't know, not worried basically. I'm not swimming in abundance, and if I spend too much, it's I notice it in my bank account, but I also notice it in my physical surroundings, right? If I spend too much in physical things, it takes too much space and I don't have physical space for it. So having a small place kind of helps to not be too worried about it, right? It's my space is as constraining or even more as my money. Then, how do I feel about my job employment situation? My job employment situation, daily activities right now, essentially my routines and all this, right? And right now, the studying part was always nice, right? The vibe, as I write here, wasn't top tier. Basically, it seems like the mood of the people, so many people have left. The ones that remain, yeah, we're cool, etc. But the training is not getting better, it's getting a little bit vaguer, a little bit more you're on your own vibes. So there is a lot of uncertainty, right? And also the big exams are kind of far away, right? So I don't know, it's hard feeling super prepared to it, right? I don't feel like any of us, but especially the ones that are doing the worst, are feeling like super prepared or like super hopeful that they're going to ace the exams or anything like this, right? So in that sense, I don't know. The vibe doesn't feel insane, but the activities themselves, the routines, going to class, learning about these kind of trains things, speaking to these German people about their trains, like letting them hear them say their things, etc. It's entertaining. It's not crazy. I mean, the people complain a lot of if we have to go past 2:30 p.m. or something, we have to be there past 2:30. It's like, whoa, crazy, right? But I don't know. In that sense, personally, it doesn't bother me. I'm going to go into this again, but personally, it doesn't bother me. It bothers me, like the vibe bothers me. But the activities themselves, like, I don't know, I could get used to that. Even though I also feel tired, if that happens, right? I don't know. It doesn't bother me, like mentally or something like this. And yeah, the thing is that we're going to transition right now into the next couple of weeks. It's going to change a lot. The vibes are going to be a lot different. Well, I'm going to see my classmates a lot less and see the trainers a lot more. I'm going to, basically be driving a lot more, having weirder schedules, trying to follow this trainer's schedule. So we're going to see how it evolves, right? Maybe I like it, maybe I don't. We'll see. A lot of uncertainty. Then, art pastimes that I'd like to learn or practice. And for the moment, I'm postponing the motorcycle license because, I guess I feel like I have too much on my plate, right? I have my New Year's resolutions. I guess it is kind of crazy that I guess the train thing, since it's the main thing and it's also a license, I guess it counts as doing some license things. But I guess I haven't tried a lot of things in this kind of money entrepreneurship side. They don't tie a lot into this, right? I feel like maybe that could be like the working long term on this, and I could assign it there, but for the moment I've kind of postponed things and haven't really thought of anything outside of my New Year resolutions. Okay, like bettering my German, fitness, and some appearance things, right? Aside from that, I haven't thought of anything, of any hobbies or anything like that. Maybe games, but not even that. So yeah, and except for fitness, maybe swimming, because since I'm also going to switch gyms, I think I'm going to have to change my fitness routines. So we'll see. Maybe I'll go back to being thin, since I'm going to be swimming and doing more cardio focused stuff instead of like strength, or maybe I'll also sign up for a strength gym. We'll see. Then, how do I feel about the environment I live right now? And this ties into the vibe thing from the employment situation, I guess, right? The environment physically. Here, it's going to change, so we'll see, right? But so far, I've liked the building. I think there are no big changes in respect to what I said in September. So I like this building. I like the city vibes. I like the kind of this is a building. This is chill. Since then, a lot of more Spanish people have come in from the courses, right? Also from the Deutsche Bahn, from the next waves. And I haven't liked that a lot because it causes this little bit of like kind of awkwardness, right? Of seeing these classmates when I'm going to the gym or something and seeing them around in the hallways. I don't know. It makes me a little bit like, but it's like a super small feeling of like awkwardness. So I don't really care, right? I could get used to it perfectly. And so far I like everything else of like it being a big building, the area is decent, and since I got my wallet back when I lost it twice, I have like kind of more faith in the people being like, I don't know, at least nice and not being a dangerous place, right? And it's convenient, and yeah, I don't know. And I guess Munich in winter is actually pretty. I don't know. It wasn't horrible this year. It wasn't like there was not a lot of sunlight, but well, actually, many days we had sunlight. The hours are not super crazy. At 5 p.m., it's still daylight, to be honest. So it's like at 6:30 or so on, it starts getting darker again, or it's already like pitch black, you could say. But yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of used to it. I haven't been like mega seasonally depressed, you could say. So I guess I even like Munich winters, to be honest. And yeah, in Christmas, for example, they're like the city gets like super lit up. So even though it's the darkest time of the year, it's also like kind of pretty, and there are a lot of activities, a lot of markets, etc. And the vibe of the city is like cool as well, a lot of tourists. And then January, it has flown away so fast that I haven't noticed, to be honest, nothing insane, right? And it hasn't been depressing or anything. It has just been cold, but with some sunny moments, some snow, varied, you could say, right? Some rain, less rain. I don't like rain, and there has not been a lot of rain. So, in that sense, it's probably the best it could have been. And yeah, I don't know. Then I don't know. Then we could go into the next question, I think. Well, we'll see how the next winter goes, but yeah. And the next question: how do I feel about following my intuition recently? I feel like maybe I've improved a little bit. I think more chill. I think I question myself less in the day-to-day stuff, like class, for example. I feel like I'm confident in my level of German to tackle these studies. So in that sense, I feel like, I don't know, I'm calm in class. I can understand what the teachers are saying, and more or less trust my intuition in the fact that how much should I study, how much should I do this. So in that sense, I feel like I'm tapped into the pulse of what needs to happen. The trainers, I worry a little bit less about them not answering. If they don't answer immediately, I can like tap out and like check in the next day, and then check in the next day again. And usually they answer for the moment, so I'm happy about that. So far, so yeah. In that sense, I'm chill and I'm just cool. I'm more, I don't know, more comfortable with with following my intuition and my letting my mind rest, you could say, right? I'm more chill. I'm still blocked in some other areas, in the classic areas that I'm blocked, that I have always been blocked. In those other senses, there has not been any progress or whatever. Yesterday, Valentine's Day, for example, like relationships, etc., that still is like a subject that I'm not passing anytime soon. But yeah, I have my reasons for that, and yeah, I'm trying to work slowly on these reasons, blah blah blah. But yeah, it's a difficult process, and my New Year resolutions are also like, I guess, tangentially targeting that aspect, right? Trying to become more comfortable, blah blah blah, right? So I'm doing what I kind of have to do. I'm still torn and blocked in many aspects, but I don't know. I've been doing like kind of small bits of like not progress, but like attempts at things. So far failing, but maybe I don't know. Maybe I'll figure something out. Then, what really makes me happy? I have some happiness moments while alone, right? There are some moments when I feel like I've accomplished things. I go out to a Flohmarkt, I buy some things for for the Game Boy. I'm dressed in a way that I feel like, I don't know, it kind of like represents my style or whatever. And I'm kind of moving on my own, doing things. Those moments I feel like they make me happy. Then during the routines, if everything's flowing, I feel connected. I feel like I'm getting things. I feel like, oh, this is interesting, blah blah. So yeah, those moments I would say are the most happy. Social moments are also like good, but yeah, I didn't mention this on the environment part, so I think I should go back to this. But in this environment part, it used to be that I used to mention something like social moments make me happy, right? That was because I was with my friends in Spain, right? And here, for example, the people I'm stuck with aren't bad. Well, there are some caveats to this aren't bad people thing, but what is definitely true is that I don't vibe 100% with them in things that I do find important, right? So I don't know. I don't think you need to vibe 100% in with the people you hang out. And in Spain, for example, I don't even vibe 100% of the way with the people I hang out with, right? But I don't know. It's the vibe is different, right? I feel like we are more aligned and our life experiences are closer together in Spain with the people in Spain that with these people here, and that the way they operate on and I don't know, that kind of argumentation, so on, aren't things that I particularly like from this social environment, right? So how do I feel about the environment I live in right now? Socially, I don't feel great about that. I have to say that. I do have to say that. So yeah, right now I'm finding more happiness alone than with people, to be honest. With people, there are some moments, there are some moments of connection, there are some moments of hanging out and enjoying something together, etc. But I definitely don't feel like part of some social fabric or something like this. So that part definitely is not something that is making me happy right now, right? I guess the people I'm stuck with is I'm not comfortable with. I wouldn't say comfortable. I guess I'm not comfortable with how things have turned out, and the circles I'm in, and so on. So, in that sense, I guess the thing is that I don't believe they themselves believe we're going to stay together close. So I think it's like I'm tanking out these times together and like trying to get what I can and try to give what I have not without kind of like holding back intentionally. It's things like, I don't know, like generousness or generosity or whatever, right? I'm not holding these things back, but I'm also kind of not sharing vulnerability things, etc., right? In that sense, I'm kind of like neutral and each one on their own wave, and so in that sense, I guess happiness is mostly coming from alone moments. Who really makes me happy? This is again, maybe I could. This ties well with what I've mentioned before, right? So far, the moments I feel the most connected to people still happen online. Haven't found someone in real life, at least any of my current circles, etc., that I really vibe with and that I think, whoa, I've really connected to this person, right? So I don't know. In real life, I guess there are decent people, right? For example, the German people, our trainers, etc. Some of them are like really good and really funny, etc. But it's still not a one-to-one relationship, right? It's a trainer versus someone like a trainee, and they also are German and they are hanging out with 10 or like maybe smaller groups, but still of groups of Spanish people, etc. It's not like symmetrical, you could say. So when they get together with the German trainers and speak among each other, the vibe is different, right? So it's, I don't know, even though they are nice and they are helpful, etc., I feel distance, right? And also with the Spanish people, I feel this kind of separation that I've mentioned, right? I feel this kind of sense of we're not part of the same social fabric. It's like we're temporarily together because of this purpose, right? But when I'm done with this purpose and you guys are either done with your purpose or you fail, there's not going to be much connecting us together, right? So in that sense, that's the vibe that I feel. So I can't really say who makes me happy in that sense, right? When I think back, I guess my friends in Spain, for example, or the Philippines in this case, do make me happy and so on, but the caveats that had been there when I was there still are present, and yeah, I don't know. It's like I need to be here, or at least far away, and are you still here, Bill? Think not, right? Yeah, basically I needed to go away to work on these things, etc., right? I couldn't do it there, and now that I'm here and I still have, as I have said, I'm still blocked in certain things. Yeah, I'm not. It's not like I'm ready to come back and hang out like it always was or something like this, right? I know in my head that it's not like this. So yeah, sadly, even though the people that my friends from Spain, etc., who have always been there, blah blah blah. One is in the Philippines also, so it's like, yeah. Then, how is my health? Physically, I got my teeth checked out a couple of weeks ago. No, this week, Monday, and I'm going to have to get checked again for someone to put my retainer again. So in that sense, yeah, they're doing all right, you could say. But my body fitness, okay, more or less. I've gained weight since, not sure if it's September, but definitely since April, right? Since then I've gained weight. So I've noticed that cardio stuff, it's, I would say, not hard, but it's, I guess, beginning, right? That small hump at the beginning is harder than it used to be, I guess. And yeah, not sure what else. I guess one more issue that appeared was that trying to do one stretch once, my knee clacked, so that was a painful moment. But right now it's like I feel more or less normal again, but there are like tiny moments when I notice, oh, that had happened, right? I notice moments when I'm kind of like bending my knee in some weird way or whatever, that I notice, oh, I did bend my knee that way, that moment, right? It's like it's maybe 98% weight of the way there, but it's not the same. I notice it. So in that sense, that's preocupatory. And yeah, I guess my mental health is still as always, so nothing much worse or much better. The winter hasn't been that bad mentally in that sense. So winter, probably because I came home, right? If I hadn't gone home, I wonder how the winter would have been. I still have said that Munich in the Christmas season, etc., is pretty, but maybe without that going back and regenerating, it hits different. So I don't know. But yeah, mentally also, I've tried to find therapists and so on. I'm trying to get into the system, but it's more difficult than I expected. And in that sense, I don't know. I don't like healthcare in this country, to be honest. I feel like it's a little bit weird. So yeah, that's it. If you've watched this video, thank you for watching. And that's how my life is right now. I think I'm going to leave maybe the previous or the whole playlist of status updates over here, as I usually do in these kind of videos. And yeah, thank you for watching. Goodbye. Status update, February 2020. Mm. was on September 2025, so still like 5-6 months ago, and we and then what I mentioned in the previous episode that we have I lost I lost friend or anything like this, business things, but because before it's like someone calls in that sense that it sounds maybe a little bit lonely, but yeah, in that sense, then for example, to my New Year's resolutions are not very good, but to be honest, it's how it is. Right? Then we can go on to my New Year's resolutions, and I guess maybe something to note is that in my New Year's resolutions there is no aspect about, for example, yeah, if you look at these categories, there is no social category. Right? So I don't think it's interesting that even though I would define my life as a bit lonely and I certainly feel lonely all the time, I guess it hasn't passed through my head to write something that I wanted to do, and yeah, with this one I'm looking at exploring. I've gone to an Nepalese restaurant yesterday or last Thursday, I think. So in that sense, I hit that. I kind of hit that novelty spot for the week, and in general for the month. Or I don't know how it's measured, but at least been hitting something. But I haven't also sat to think particularly about the on the aesthetic different ideas and so on. But haven't actually sat down in the or to write something concrete. Then we're going, I think, to the questions, right? So questions. How do you feel about your money situation right now? And I would say that I have already had my contract for 2026, right? So that means my housing contract. I'm moving houses, and that was my main worry, my main source of insecurity in terms of what happens if I don't find a flat. And now for 2020, and now for 2020. So questions. How do you feel about your money situation right now? And I would say that I have already had my contract for 2026, right? So that means my housing contract. I'm moving houses, and that was my main worry, my main source of insecurity in terms of what happens if I don't find a flat. And now for 2026 and the beginning of 2027, I have already a place to live. So in that sense, I'm not fully settled because I need to rent something that's expensive in terms of if I spend too much in physical things, it takes too much space and I have a little bit more you're on your own vibes. So not getting better, you know, feeling it seems like the mood of the big boys. Right now, the studying part wasn't the situation. My job went more as my money. Then, how do I feel about my job and situation? My job, employment situation, daily activities right now, especially my routines and all, right? And right now, the studying part was always nice, right? The vibe as I right here was top tier. Basically, it seems like the mood of the big boys, so many people have left. The ones that remain, yeah, we're cool, etc. But the training is not getting better. You could get used to that, even though I also feel tired if that happened. There are some uncertainties. Then, art as pastime that I'd like to learn or practice. And for the moment, I'm postponing the motorbike license because, yeah, I guess I feel like I have too much to do. Right? I have my New Year's resolutions. I guess it's kind of crazy that not. I guess the train thing is the main thing, and it's also a license because it counts as two. It's going to change, so we'll see. Right? But so far, I feel like strength, or maybe I'll sign up for a strength. Then, how do I feel about the environment I live right now? And this ties into the light thing from the environment situation. The environment specifically here. It's going to change, so we'll see. Right? But so far, I like the building, and I think there are no big changes in respect to what I said in September. So I like this building, I like the city vibes, I like the kind of this is a building, this is chill. It went horrible this year. It wasn't like I'm kind of used to it. I had been like in a system of I haven't noticed, to be honest, anything insane. Right? And it hasn't been depressing or anything. It has just been cold, but let's see how the next one goes. But and the next question, how do I feel about following my intuition recently? I feel like maybe I've improved a little bit. I think more chill. I think I question myself less in the day-to-day stuff. Like class, for example, I feel like I'm confident in my level of enjoyment to tackle these studies. So in that sense, I feel like I'm calm in class. I can understand what the teachers are saying and more or less trust my intuition in the fact that how much stress how much should I do this. So in that sense, I have a feeling I'm tapped into the pros of what needs to happen. The trainers, I worry a little bit less about them answering. If they don't answer immediately, I can like tap out and check in the next day and then check in the next day again and soon. But I have my reason for that. It's program block in many aspects. But moments when alone, there are some moments when I feel like I've accomplished things. I go out, really makes me happy. I have some happiness moments when alone. There are some moments when I feel like I've accomplished things. I still program block in many aspects, but I've been doing like kind of small bits of like not progress, but like attempts, doing attempts of things. So far failing, but maybe not very good. Then what will make me happy? I have some happiness moments when alone. There are some moments when I feel like I've accomplished things. I go out to a flow art, I buy some things for the Game Boy. I'm dressed in a way that I feel like kind of like represents my style, whatever. I'm kind of moving on my own, doing things. Those moments I feel like they make me happy. Then I'm doing the routines. If everything's flowing, I feel I feel connected. I feel like I'm getting things. I feel like all this blah blah blah. So yeah, those moments I would say are the most happy. Social moments are also like good, but yeah, I didn't mention this on the environment part, so I think I should go back to this. But in this environment part, it used to be that I used to mention something like social moments make me happy. Right? That was because I was with friends in Spain. And here, for example, the people I'm stuck with aren't bad. There are some barriers to this aren't bad people thing. But what I definitely do is that I don't vibe 100%. So you need to vibe 100% with the people you hang out. And in Spain, for example, I don't vibe 100% of the way I hang out with. But I don't know, it's the vibes different. I feel like we are more aligned and our life experiences are more closer together in Spain to the people that these people here. And that the way we operate on and I don't know, that kind of argumentation and so on aren't things that I particularly like from this social stuff. So how do I feel about the environment I'm in right now? Socially, I don't feel great about that. I have to say that. I do have to say that. So yeah, right now I'm finding more happiness alone than with people. With people, yeah, There are some moments, there's commitment and some connection, there are some moments hanging out, enjoying something together, etc. But I definitely don't feel like part of some social fabric or something like this. So that part definitely is not something that hit me hard. I guess the point I'm stuck with is I'm not comfortable with, not sure, I wouldn't say comfortable, I guess I'm not comfortable with how things turned out, and the circles I'm in, and so on. So in that sense, yeah. I guess the thing is that I don't believe they themselves believe they could do it or stay together close. So I think it's like I'm banking on how these time together and like trying to get what I can and to keep what I have without and like holding back intentionally things like generosity or whatever and holding these things. But I can also kind of sharing vulnerability things, etc. In that sense, it's like neutral and each one on their way. So in that sense, yes, happiness is mostly coming from our moments. Who really make me happy? This is again, or maybe I could. This ties well with what I've mentioned before, right? So far, the moments I've been the most connected to people, still having a life, having found someone in real life at least near my current circle that I really vibe with, and like being yeah, basically I needed to go away to work on these things, etc. But I couldn't do it there, and now that I'm here and I still have, as I have said, I'm still blocked in certain things. Yeah, I'm ready to come back and hang out like how it was supposed to be. I know in my head that it's not like this. So, yeah, sadly, even though the people that I'm with, my friends from Spain, etc., who have already been there, one is the Philippines also, so it's like, yeah. Then, how's my health? Basically, I got my teeth checked out a couple of weeks ago. No, this week, Monday, and I'm going to have to get them checked again to someone for my veterinary again. So in that sense, yeah, they're doing all right, I would say. But my body fitness, okay, more or less, I've gained weight since September, that's definitely recently doing great. Since then, I've gained weight. So I've noticed that cardio stuff is, I would say, not hard, but it's, I guess, beginning, right? That small hump at the beginning is harder than it usually, I guess. Yeah, not sure what else. I guess one more issue that appeared was that trying to do one stretch once, my knee cracked. So that was a painful moment. But right now, it's like I feel more or less normal again. But there are like tiny moments when I notice, oh, that had happened, right? I know these moments when I was like bending my knee in some weird way or whatever, I noticed, oh, I did bend my knee that way, that moment. It's like, it's maybe 98% of the way there, but it's not the same. I notice it. So in that sense, that's good. And yeah, I guess my mental health is still as always, so nothing much worse or not much better. The winter hasn't been that bad mentally in that sense. So winter, probably because I came home, right? If I hadn't gone home, I wonder how the winter would have been. I still have said that like in the Christmas season is pretty, but maybe without that going back and regenerating, it hits different. So body mentally also, I try to find therapists and so on, and trying to get into the system, but it's more difficult than I expected. And in that sense, I don't like healthcare in itself. I feel like it's really trivial. So yeah, that's it. If you've watched this video, thank you for watching, and that's how my life is right now. I think I'm going to leave maybe the previous or the whole playlist of such updates over here, as I usually do with videos. Yeah, thank you for watching. Goodbye. Now, I think I'm going to leave maybe the previous or the whole playlist of status updates over here, as I usually do in these kind of videos. And yeah, thank you for watching. Goodbye. That's it. If you've watched this video, thank you for watching. And that's how my life is right now. I think I'm going to leave maybe the previous or the whole playlist of status updates over here, as I usually do in these kind of videos. And yeah, thank you for watching. Goodbye. Okay, I'm done. I think I'm going to quit streaming. Well, not quit streaming. I'm going to end for today and yeah, go have dinner. Try to go to bed after dinner, I guess. Maybe shower again, although I don't feel like I need to shower again. But maybe I'll shower again anyways. And yeah, I don't know. Hope you have a guys have a nice week. Hope I have a nice week as well. Hope the driving is fine. Hope on Tuesday the weird learning seminar is fine. Hope on Wednesday, whatever we have on Wednesday, Ansage workshop is also fine. Thursday is driving again. Hope that is fine as well. And yeah, Friday I don't know what we have. We'll see. See you next week. And yeah, we'll see what the next Monday we have, because maybe if the next Monday has to be super early, maybe I have to also make a stream this early. So yeah, we'll see how it goes, and bye bye.